Yo, what's good, Gym Leader Zero? How you doing? Whew. Hey, what's up, Unproxified? What are you talking about? Hey, what's up, Chroma? How you doing? Hey, Mr. Cross. Hey, Bobby. What's going on? Why I say it's quiet, I think. So I'm just doing some simple seed calibrating today. If I'm totally honest with you guys, I just couldn't think of what I wanted to do today. So I just want to do this and chill with you guys. It's going to be a shorter stream anyway. I had trouble motivating myself to actually try and stream. So I'm doing this. Oh, oops. Alright, we got ECD2. Live stream was laggy? My stream was fine yesterday. I had no connection issues or anything of the sort. One frame late on my seed there, by the way. It might be your internet, Unproxified. Hey, Abdul, what's going on? He really hopes Slowbro has Regenerator, otherwise it will suffer with no hidden ability like Flygon. Well, Flygon's regular ability is really good. You going for the same seed as yesterday's? Asks Mike. Yeah, I am. Same seed. We'll change to like 93. Looking for perfect IVs, something like that. What is it? Who is Dave? Who's so? I think I am early again. Jirachi design silent for... Oh, what is it? I didn't know the abilities were revealed. What do you use to capture your DS screen and display it like that? I use, Loopy's capture card. This is a Brave Articuno. So good at the natures, man. Ugh, I hit the same seed again. I have to be later. What's up, comrade? How you doing? I think that was way late. Just checking your videos on the RNG hatching perfect eggs and emerald, but it looks super complicated. Is it easier looking for perfect wild encounters? No, it's specifically not. Also, it's really not that complicated. The thing about wild encounters is definitely easier to understand conceptually, because it's just one timer and you hit a button at a specific time, but you're going to have to use battle videos, and you're also going to have to do a very long wait period. So it's just like, I don't know. If you just want a quick shiny, wild encounters are obviously easy, but if you're going for good stats, you're going to want to avoid wild like the plague. On top of that, with wild, you're pretty much limited in terms of encounter slots. So, good fucking luck with that. Yeah, I knew I was really late that time. Speaking of metagame, do you really think that Seismitoad will be dropped thanks to the ban of Dracovish? Seismitoad is not... I think that Seismitoad could probably hold the spot in OU still, if it has to. Seismitoad has had a niche in OU for quite a long time. But, in terms of actually being, like, top tier, I don't think so. I think it's still going to be a pretty good rocker, though. What's up, Max Rex Power? How you doing, dude? We're doing this stream. Calibrating the seed, trying to see if I can hit a specific seed. PKG Zapper, you're hunting Shiny Charmander and Fire Red 2,849 checks. Good luck, homie. I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired. I hit this one already, I think. There's the first one I hit. Yeah, it is. Okay, we have to increase this. Looking for good stats, Articuno or shiny. Good stats. I'm looking for. Your friend Safari depends on what 3DS you have. You know, I don't know. Yeah, actually it does. It's your 3DS friend code. Because I think you can get friend Safaris of people who don't even own Pokemon, right? Just careful. F2. So we're on 70 F2. So what I want to do is change settings to see if I can get an earlier. So let's change settings. Alright, we'll first change with just this. That's all we'll change. I don't think it's going to change anything, but we'll see. I'm Proxified. You're such a troll. Alright, we're going to take notes. Fuck, I actually don't feel like taking notes. What is TV Town? Which is BlisyTV. 90 people. We have 18. I appreciate each and every 18 of you. Also, what's up, Zerby? Do you know what's happening in the Bronx? Probably protests, if I had to guess. There's actually a protest in my town yesterday, or 2 days ago, maybe? I forget. People are looting. Oh my god. This one's serious, I think. Well, stay safe and Proxified if you live near there. This isn't serious. Fuck, what is this? Nama Iki. Is it Nama Iki? Or is it fucking key? What is it? It's Nama Iki. Nama Iki? It's probably just Nama Iki. Nama Iki. It's sassy. Ah, got it. Alright, so that changed to nothing. I still hit 70 F2. Hey, what's good, Hefe? Fuck, I didn't want to do off and on. Alright, that setting did nothing, so I'm going to turn it back and I'm going to go to the next one. Unproxified, you don't get to do it. Unproxified, you don't get to say it anymore. He did it yesterday. He did it yesterday and you weren't there. Alright, change that back. Change this. Then we'll save. I pinged stream alert in my Discord. You got a notification. Peaceful protests are amazing, though. It sucks that people take advantage of the protests, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean... the only people I really have an issue with, I would suppose, are the people who are not there to protest and are just there to loot and stuff. But, like, there's not really much of a point of getting mad at the rioting, because it's just like, you know, it's not like that. It's not like peaceful protesting was not tried before people went fucking apeshit, you know? What's up, Rod? How you doing? What question you got for me? Hey, what's good, Clay? How you doing? So I don't really have much of an issue or whatever with it. Whatever you want to say. Rioting is a result of the systems. If you want to prevent futures, we should work towards systemic change. Yeah, pretty much. Completely agree, comrade. Blissy, you've been soft. You're sitting for a shiny routine and platinum. Wish you luck. It's one of your favorites that you've been longing for. Well, good luck, Brett. I'm doing okay. I had a rough... I don't know, my mental has been fucking weak lately. My mental has been weak, so... It was a struggle just to get myself to stream today, but I didn't want to fucking wall. Because the thing is, I knew I wouldn't do anything else. That's the thing, is if I didn't stream today, I knew I wasn't going to fucking... Hide that one there. Like, I knew... Oh, fudge. I knew if I didn't stream, that's fine. If I did something else, and I was thinking, because like I want to do other stuff. I do have some stuff I want to do. However, the thing is, I knew I wouldn't have sat at my computer and actually done the fucking D&D work that I wanted to do, or anything like that, or make a video. So I just, instead of just wallowing, I decided to actually get up and stream. No. I give no fucks about what businesses are being loot. Make that fuck absolutely clear. Small businesses, big businesses, no fucking difference. They are just as shitty in completely different ways, though. I actually get super annoyed when people say stuff like, support your local business instead of a big corporation. Like, there was a fucking business that said, it had a sign outside. It was just like, you're supporting, like my family, not like some random fucking company. And it's like, dog, people work at company. First of all, there's like so many layers to this shit, dog. People work at companies, right? Walmart might suck, but people fucking work there. You know what I mean? Like, just because Walmart's... Anyway, that's besides the point, really. The real point is that the problem with corporations is that they don't fucking pay enough. They're always understaffed and people are overworked. You don't get enough days off. That shit is magnified to 11 in small businesses most of the time. I had see. Okay, nothing changed. That shit, as a person who has pretty much only worked for small businesses in the last like 6 years at this point. No, more than that. Like, yeah. More than 6 years I've only worked for small businesses. Like, it's just like, they're all owned by like fucking super narcissistic people who have their fucking head up their ass. You're always overworked, you're underpaid, and on top of it all, and even the thing is, like, technically I'm not underpaid. I actually make pretty good money right now, but I don't have fucking health insurance. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, do I get paid what I'm paying now? Or do I get paid less money, but I actually get health insurance from a corporation? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll take the higher money and the less risk of me getting sick. Because I'm generally healthy. So it's like, okay. Hi, Blissy. Love your content. Still can't manipulate and fire and leaf green. You can. I'm doing it right now. I'm literally doing it right now. My lack of health insurance is the small business's fault right now. It's part of a wider issue, but like, it is the small business's fault. The small business is choosing. I disagree. It's not required of them if they have X employees. Yes, dude, if they only have 6 employees, it's really fair of them to not pay health insurance so they can cover their costs. Yo, if you can't cover the cost of your fucking employees' health insurance right now, fuck you. You shouldn't own a business. It's fucked up, dog. Like, I would rather be beholden to my fucking small business and have health insurance through them than have to... buying it on the fucking market's impossible. It's so insane. Like... And I make too much money to get anything close to affordable healthcare. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, a cop can arrest people. A cop can give me a ticket for $200. He's just following the system's orders, right? Give someone a ticket for speeding. The cop's just following orders. Like, people have the ability to make choices. Like, I'm really heated over this because I fucking hate it, dude. Like, exploiting a shitty rule makes you shitty. If the rule is bad, you can avoid doing it. Yes, good. It shouldn't exist. Fuck them. Like, it shouldn't exist. If they can't afford to pay they shouldn't exist. That's straight up what it is right now. Like, yeah, I think it shouldn't exist. Great. Also, most small businesses underpay the shit out of most of their fucking employees. I'm the only person who gets paid any remotely fair amount of money at my job right now, for the record. And that's because I actually have a fucking skill. And I'm not just doing bullshit work. I'm not an empty capitalist, for the record. I don't really think that I'm there. But I super hate small businesses just as much as I hate large businesses right now. Thumbs up for my speech, thanks, dude. It just triggers the fuck out of me. It's just like yes, but that doesn't mean you should support small businesses. Okay, so I am not blaming the individual businesses. I am saying small businesses are shitty for these reasons. There's a difference. Right? Right now, the people who are capable of being entrepreneurs because of the circumstances are almost always people who are already wealthy, right? That's pretty much how it works. Or people who have good credit, which tends to be wealthier people, right? My point is that saying to support a small business, the small business isn't better. The small business is not better. I agree that the problem is systemic, obviously. But I also think that if you're making the choice to not provide for your employees, like, you're an asshole. Like, that's just what it comes down to. Like, and that's fine if you're following within the rules. Like, I don't give a fuck about the rules. Like, the rules suck ass anyway, you know? It's like, the rules just suck total ass. I don't even want good health insurance. I just want to be able to go to the fucking doctor sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking for much. It's like, okay, well, I could either go here, or I could, oh, fuck, is it lax? Oh, I have bold. It's relaxed. Oops. It's like, oh, it just sucks. Fuck. Was someone... I do blame them for choosing B. The thing is, businesses really don't give back to the community. The ones I've worked for anyway, even in the ways the businesses I blame them because they're not providing properly to people. They're paying me a fair wage. They're paying no one else a fair wage. I know what everyone else gets paid. And they're giving no one health insurance. Like, fuck you then. Like... Totally not unfair, dude. If you can't afford, like, a company... The idea that a company should be beholden to treat its employees differently based on company size is actually insane to me. In terms of compensation. Like, is it fine for small businesses to pay their employees less money because they had a higher startup cost? No. No, it wouldn't be. Like, should you be able to pay employees under the minimum wage? Like, no. Of course not. It's insanity. And I think right now, obviously, the issue is no shit that I can't get health insurance through the fucking government. Duh. Like, I'm in the sweet spot of where it would cost me like 70 EDD. Wait. Did that just lower it? No, that made it really high. What the fuck? They put it in the D's again. Okay. If I hold the button, will it go up? Okay, so changing it to mono made it go higher. What's up, Ogdenim? I don't think... Fuck. Okay. Should I change it to frame 1? See if that doesn't... So now you think being a business owner right now and operating on whatever profit margin you can get is immoral if you aren't providing the same benefits? It doesn't have to be identical. It has to be something. Like I said, I'm not going to answer your question until you answer the question to me. Do you think it's totally fine if a company offers less than minimum wage because they are operating on whatever profit margin is possible? They want to offer to pay people less than minimum wage. Do you think that's fine? Like, it's obviously not fine. I think it's insanity. Let's see, has a niche in Ubers, but no, not OU. Okay, so why? Why is that different than what I'm talking about in regards to health insurance? I'm talking about morals, not the law, by the way. I don't give a fuck about the law. I've been holding the button down this entire time, too. What if I tapped? Ah, fuck, hold on. I'm gonna tap the button this time, because I have a suspicion that holding the buttons makes it go to a lower hex number. I missed a donation? I don't see any donations. Or my anarchy? I am not an anarchist, dude. I think anarchists and libertarians are fucking idiots. Dumb idiots. Socialism workers cannot be exploited since they are the owners of the business they work in. Yeah, I just don't get how it would work, personally. Also, I think that markets are very powerful in allocating resources. Ah, fuck, I held the button down. Yeah, but laws inform the actions of the individuals of economy. No! No, 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 no. Laws are created to uphold the moral standards that we create. Okay? So we make a law because something is moral or not moral. I do not think it is moral in the current health system right now to be allowing certain companies to forgo paying health insurance just because they want to get like easier overhead or whatever the fuck. I do not think that is right. If I had a small business, which is a goal of mine one day, I would not hire employees if I could not do that for them. Just because my boss may not believe in the same moral standards that I have does not mean my boss is right. I think allowing exemptions like that in specific, I just in general do not believe that like like, again, I don't see how my ask for health insurance in the current market, right? Again, in how health insurance is fucking given out nowadays, is any different than someone going, well, I just want to pay under the minimum wage because, you know, because it would help my overhead. It would really help me get the business going. Like, can you explain the difference between my ask and their ask? There is no difference. The only difference is one is a law, and the law, like, the laws are bad. Like, that's my point. Yeah, fuck them. I think it's just irresponsible to treat your employees that way. I would never. The goal would be to not have too many of them anyway, if I had a business. It'd just be me and my fucking girlfriend. And maybe one other person. Small ass operation. Oh, 46, 87. At least I'm mad now. I didn't think I had the energy to get mad today. Health insurance is literally deal breaker level expensive. Good! Are you RNGing for shiny? Just specific IVs. If a company under a certain size couldn't exist without exploiting people in like a seriously negative way, then it shouldn't exist. What kind of health coverage are we talking about? Alright, in America, you pretty much... Good. Bye. Just because something exists as a result of things being bad doesn't mean that I'm sad that it would be fucking destroyed. Still, I don't agree. Jolly? Fuck. $8.5? Fuck. I like hard hate it. Also, the threshold for paying for health insurance is pretty low. The minimum number of employees. Either that or my dad's not an asshole. Okay, my dad's just not an asshole. There you go. Oh, fuck, I fucked it up. Okay, basically my issue comes from right now is that I get paid enough money to where buying health insurance for myself would cost me like $200 a month. Very, very unsustainable for me. Very, very bad for me. Maybe a little more it would even cost. All of my whatever's the fucks. So I get paid enough money to where it's like it's and on top of that, you still haven't said why someone shouldn't be able to pay someone under the minimum wage. No argument against that whatsoever. Again, wage levels are like also literally deal-breaking levels. You do need to argue against it. It's the same exact thing. There's literally no difference between the two things. $70D4? Is that higher or lower? I got $70DD. No. Wait, holding it made it go lower? What if I hold select? Okay, you really need to think about what law and morals, like, laws don't exist. You have to understand something. The laws, literally, no laws matter. No laws matter. Yeah, I can't actually even talk to you because you don't understand. Like, I actually can't even have a conversation with you because you're using, like, laws as a crutch. It doesn't make any sense. This should go down then. Why wouldn't it go down? Basically, yeah, what Comrade said there. So basically, my point is that I don't give a shit about what the law is. What I do think is it's immoral, right? I think they're treating their workers immorally by doing this in a situation where some places are forced to do it and others aren't. If killing random people in the street wasn't against the law, would you not blame people for doing it? Jolly. Fuck. I think it's a shitty Articuno again. I've hit this one. 61, 103, 107. 70. No, it went up. Why would you go up? I am so confused right now. Why would it go up? I understand the moral argument. You're saying if employer doesn't provide health care is immoral because other companies can afford to because they are larger. Correct. Fuck. How do I make it go down? Will a different button do something different? No, fuck. We should acknowledge the benefits of small businesses. From the employee's perspective, there is none. If you can work for a corporation, you should probably do it. Straight up. Working for small businesses is actually just fucking awful. These people are fucking insane. There's no channel to which to do anything. You have to communicate directly with a company owner. Do you understand what that's like? That shit's insane. I thought that net play thing happened already. Healthcare wasn't an issue. If you cannot afford to provide something that I view as necessary, and right now that's pretty much the way it's done in America, I think it is immoral to even have the business then. It's like don't go out to eat if you can't afford to tip. Don't make a small business if you can't afford to give them health insurance. One Boku. Is that Impish? Is that Impish or is that Hardy? 28. What? This isn't Pokefinder. This is a tool called Fire Red and Leaf Green Seed Checker made by Papa Hefe. Although I think, unrelated, Jeff should rename the tool because you definitely can use this for all of Gen 3. I would do Gen 3 Seed Checker. I don't know if I have a link in here, but I have a link in my Discord for what it is. Secure free healthcare and then discuss the benefits of small business. Yeah. And even then, I would still probably tell people to avoid them like the plague. Even if I had health insurance, dog, I never want to go back to a fucking business this small again. Jesus Christ, it's fucking awful. I've had exactly one boss I've appreciated as a human and as a boss since I've started working for small businesses. And even then, I have a lot of problems with it. Like, dude, like the dog walking. Like, I thought my boss was a really kind person, and I actually do believe she cared about her employees. But it's just like, you have so little, like she spread herself too thin. Like, and too fast, and she couldn't manage everything properly. And she was doing some questionable practices. And it's just like, as an employee for these people, you have just no power. Like, you think that you do. You think that you could reason to these people. And it's just insane. And it's just like, you're not getting any benefits. You're not doing, like, it's just not worth it. Like, the only reason it's worth it is that sometimes it's lucky that you get a boss who's actually gives a shit about you and gives a shit about the thing that you're doing. Which is like, maybe worth it for some people, and I could agree that maybe for me it would be worth it if I had a good boss to work, like, to go without, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I've had one in, like, the 6 times I've had it, and I just fucking hate them. I hate it all. 3-6, fuck, was that early or late? I think that was one early. Enjoying listening to the conversation. I'm glad someone's enjoying it. I think if you're in the position to be owning a small business, you have a pretty high level of power over the situation. You don't blame multinational for hiding their profits overseas. I do. If an action is immoral, an action is immoral. I mean, the thing is, like, the multinational hiding their profits overseas and not paying things is like a multi-level step, right? Like, the reason those fucking loopholes exist is because they have people, like, they have, like, paid actors, write in the fucking laws so that they can then avoid doing said thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's how it works. It's like not just like a one-step thing or whatever. 103, 127, 103, 990. 7 EDC. Dude, holding the button down makes it go up. But I'm too far up. Fuck. Okay, so holding the buttons down seems to make it go early. I guess I could try making it L and R as well. I was at 7 EE9 yesterday. How did I even get to that, though? How the fuck did I get to 7 EE9 yesterday? What the fuck? No. I didn't hit a seed as low as 70E9 until late yesterday evening. Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing? Like, my point is that laws literally have no impact on the morality of your action. This is a different Arcana. It's different lax Arcana. 59. It would be food related. What's up, Ethan? How you doing? It'd be food business. I want to do a small bakery with my girlfriend, or a food truck, or something like that. It would be a business. It would be literally so tiny that we'd be capable of doing most of it ourselves. Like, we would be the head cooks and bakers and such. Obviously, we were thinking about starting something up this year, but coronavirus happened. We're gonna start trying we're gonna start trying to test our luck in regards to going to farmers markets and selling there and seeing how we do there, but even if they are open, that's totally fine. I do not want to go to them, which they pretty much haven't been open. I know some places actually still have farmers markets open. I just don't. But I reset over the shiny Articuno. The Articuno existed for me to test my program. Three, 6, 3, 1. It's crazy how I can hit some of the C's that he hit, but not the one that I need. Coronavirus is probably the most annoying thing to happen in your lifetime. Sucks. It's pretty shitty, if I'm totally honest. It's pretty sucky. I mean, luckily, it's not really an understatement. My life hasn't changed too much, if I'm totally honest. I understand that not everyone has the same perspective, because no shit, but I was just speaking about my own self. If that makes, I was just speaking to purely what's going on with me. C797. This seed has to be hittable, dude. This shit's insane. How can it not be hittable? So, I mean, the mental gymnastics required me... The mental gymnastics required to figure out what the truth is right now is starting to take its toll on me. That's the worst part of all this. Yeah, pretty much, Dylan. I don't disagree with you. So, like, the big thing is... Okay. So, for me, Corona hasn't been that bad. I miss eating out. And I'm finally starting to miss seeing my friends in person. And miss seeing my family in person. It's been a little bit... It's been worse on my girlfriend than it is on me, because she actually likes her family. 70D. Fuck, I'm back to 70DD. Wait, did that change do nothing? I need 70E. Okay, Eleanor vs. Help had no difference for me. What if I change to this? So, for figuring out what the truth is in regards to coronavirus has not been difficult for me. In terms of that, I'm pretty much fully believe that everything that's being talked about it. The riots and the protests and the murder of that guy whose name escapes me right now have seriously pushed it over the edge for me in terms of, like... Well, okay, part of it is... it is a difficult thing for me to talk about at home. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, so I can't really talk to people about. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean... Fuck. Damn it. Like, I miss being at D&D with the boys instead of doing it online. The systems are definitely worse online than they are in real life for me. Also, dude, the pizza place. Your fourth grade teacher had to temporarily move out of the... Because he's a cop. That's kind of what I'm talking about. My girlfriend's dad and a lot of her family and family friends are police officers, so it's very difficult for me to talk about that with her. And I normally talk to her about all my political opinions and stuff like that. So it's like hard for me to be able to speak to her about it. She's not... she's not... She's definitely very socially left. What just happened? Did I just make no changes? I'm so confused. Oh no, I didn't make no changes. Oh, hold on. She's definitely very socially like that, but she has some conservative leanings from her family that haven't gone away. That normally they're all easy to talk about for me, but the police thing is just something it's just something we can't talk about. It's not. It's an emotional point for her, which is fine, right? Whatever. and that's why I've made a point of, like, I guess you could call it tone policing. The ACAB acronym, for those who know what it stands for. sometimes I'll tone police that a little bit because, to be quite frank, I do not believe that statement will ever in the universe have any convincing power over someone like my girlfriend, right? I mean, justifiably so. She's got an emotionally rooted position, you know? And also, I have an issue with it because there are a lot of lefties who it's like a very non-nuanced statement and stuff like that, but I don't want to be tone policing people in a time like this because it's just insensitive and stupid. But, like, a lefty will be quick to say that a person working for a company that does immoral things, like, let's say you found a job as a person who works for a psychic hotline, and you think psychics are immoral because they're literally just liars. They just sell lies to people, right? I think most reasonable left-leaning people would say it's okay for you to have that job because you are incapable of sustaining or providing for yourself any other way. There are plenty of police officers who get into policing only to then realize how not great it is up in the system, right? But that's all they have now, you know? It's all they can do, right? Like, if that's the way they're paying the bills, like, then they're not doing super great for themselves. Like, I really don't like the idea that I'm coming off sympathetic or whatever, but yeah, that's like my main point. If you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Like, you can't expect someone to drop their life because of what's going on. I mean, you can, kind of, if they have the means to do it. As long as someone has the means to be able to drop their career, then yeah. But, like, if they don't, because there are people who don't... I'm fairly certain low-level cops make piss for money. If you're just starting out. And they always put you in the shittiest spots. But I really do not want to come off, like, too many characters. Fuck. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much, even in the case that she's listening, because I just am not in the mood to discuss it. That's kind of the reason I've been low-key quiet about it, if I'm honest. It's just, like, not... It's just not something that I'll ever be able to... It's just not worth the argument, I guess, is the main... I'll argue a lot of things. I'll argue a lot of petty things. Like, not important things, I guess. Because I like good faith discussion. To the point of, like... you know, not realizing that I'm being annoying. Because, like, one of my things is that I, like, talk a lot. How do I explain this properly? I usually do not care if I'm wrong about something. So if someone, I do not typically have an emotional attachment to my objective reality, right? So if someone says to me, like, this is this, and it's like an objective thing, like, this thing is happening in the world, like, coronavirus is happening. And someone was just like, no, it's not. It's like a fake thing. And then they like Wow, no, that's a bad example. I'm trying to think of a good example, cause like, but it's hard to think of a good example basically. But my point is something like, if someone tells me a fact, like if for some reason I believe that truckers just make fucking bank, all they do is make shitloads of money, and they get paid too much money or something like that. And someone points out to me all of the logistics and everything that goes into trucking, and actually how they have a pretty difficult time making their fucking money, right? I don't have usually too much of an issue dropping my stance. Fuck, the same CD. I don't usually have too much of an issue dropping my stance and changing it to the new one. So I'll be like, oh, I thought, and so this happens to, I was talking to my brother's girlfriend about this actually, because she's a nurse, and she said, one of us was talking about some medical condition, and I was just like, yeah, isn't it like this? And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, oh, really? And then I'll take my phone out, and I'll Google it, and I'll realize, because I don't take one source blindly usually, unless it's the first time I'm hearing something, right? Like I've never heard about something as a concept anyway. So I'll take out my phone, I Google it, confirm what she said is correct. But so I confirmed it was correct. I was like, oh, yeah, you are right. Cool. And now what is correct is now replaced in my brain, right? And she was like, oh. And she was talking to me about it, and she was just like, I've never seen you just, like, admit that you're wrong like that before. And I was like, well, you're a nurse. You're an authority in the medical field. Like, if I was talking to my dad about this, who is not someone who had experience with what we were talking about, wait, is it sassy? 104, 102, 111, 137. Did I do the wrong nature? Oh, I forgot to change to hasty. Easy, fudge, wrong seed. I would have argued a little bit more after looking it up, etc. I would have been like, why do you know that thing? She's like, you usually don't admit that you're wrong so easily. And I was just like, yeah, because usually I have a pretty good idea of what is correct and what is incorrect in my head, right? And usually, like, when people say something, I end up being the ones correcting them, and they have to change their position. And she was just like, yeah, that's usually true, I guess. And I was like, people seem to think that I take some sort of fucking weird enjoyment about being right or whatever. Like, no, I don't. Like, like, I don't get pleasure that I have to fucking correct someone because they were wrong. But the thing is, I'm too fucking stupid to, like, I can't not correct people. It's like a social disorder or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't do it. Like, because I value having correct information in the universe. So I'm just too fucking stupid to be able to, like, not correct people. And then I just annoy everyone, and I hate it. I just did the same Articuno. Fuck. So, that is strictly speaking my problem. So I do that a lot to my girlfriend, which is not great. I can't, I'm really bad at phrasing and talking about that kind of stuff. I'm just bad at it. I have made efforts to, like, improve my ability to communicate with other humans. And the thing is that once people get to know me as a person and how I act and how I talk, if they actually, most people tend to understand. Most people tend to understand how I am once they get to talk to me more. Because I've had this happen multiple times. Where people, like, don't understand or they think I'm a specific way until they get to know me more, and then they realize how I am, and they're like, oh, I get it now. Like, this is just how he talks for some reason. It's like I don't know what you want from me. Like, this is... you feel hypocritical if you don't call it out. Criticize and clearly protest justified. Re-outbreak risk. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like... I think the inherent difference is that the protests in Michigan aren't really, like, a justified cause. Right? Hey, what's up, Jesse? How you doing? Oh, this is bold. This is bold. I mean, I'm pissed that these fucking people have to, The thing is, you can't... I don't disagree that it's a risk of a re-outbreak occur. A3... Wait, really? Oh, no, I'm probably... Do I know Japanese a little bit? Majora's Love. Like... Yeah, I agree. It's risky. But I don't think it was something that... I mean, I think it was inevitable that this would happen. And I think it's unfortunate that it has to happen. The protests, black and white thing, you can't boil it down. The protests were unavoidable and at this point are uncontrollable. Yeah, so like, I think that's, well, no, I think the, let's just careful, I think the original protests about the, lockdown restrictions or whatever were like pretty different. Is it not careful? Oh no, it's gentle. EC98. Where the fuck am I? I need to be a little later on these then. I'll do 18. Yeah, I'm not going to tell people to not protest. I think what it comes down to is that they have valid reasons to protest, where I do not view that the corona protests about quarantine were valid protests. If that makes sense. So I will criticize them for protesting because the reason for their protests I do not view as justified. Although I wouldn't ever ask them to not protest because, fuck it, I guess that's your right. I mean, I would ask them not to. I wouldn't. You can't force someone to not protest. It's bad, I guess, but free speech and all that. Yeah, I'm also not qualified to say if they should be having it. I think they... Yeah, I'm not going to say if they should or shouldn't. I do say I support them in the sense that, like... Yeah, like... you have to support their cause. Like, it's obviously just and right, you know? I think, anyway. But the reasons I haven't talked about it much is pretty much for, as I stated, with stuff. And I guess, whatever, that makes me a fucking... For not, like, you know... But the thing is, I'm not gonna... I can't go... I can do it on Twitter. I could go more onto it. But the thing is, I also don't know what to fucking say. You think they wear masks to stop the lockdown protests? Also true. But another thing is, like, I don't know what to say. I'm just a fucking... I'm a white guy who grew up in the fucking suburbs. I understand I have privilege. I don't have much of an audience. Like, I do have some audience, but my audience is pretty much restricted to YouTube if you want to be honest with yourself. My Twitter presence is very middling. And it's not like I don't make a good effort to retweet. Like, when people of color, or black people. I'll say black people, because that's what... What are my hot takes on Twitter? I don't know what I say. My small business one? I don't want to start that up again. I just don't feel like talking about it anymore, is pretty much. I'll stick to saying I try to retweet like what black people are saying, because this is, I mean, it is in general about people of color in total versus the police, but it's right now, I would say, probably more of a black issue than anything else, which is fair. It's like, it definitely happens to them the most, I'll say that. Although it's like, you shouldn't be belittling. Like, it's not like fuck, I don't know. Like, I've had very bad experiences with police, but like, you know, I haven't been fucking killed, mostly because I'm white, so. What's the other one? Lonely? This is lonely or naughty. 36F2. Fudge, I was one early that time? I don't think I have too many hot takes on Twitter. Anything I say on there is usually something I mean. Fuck. Fuck! I hit the timer. You got nervous walking around the block with a squirt gun and a cop drove past? I got patted down when I went to the police station to pay for a ticket, actually. From a Canadian point of view, you think the state need to get their act sorted out? Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I was wearing, to put into perspective, you guys have all seen me with the bandana on, the black bandana. So I went off work to pay my ticket. I had a black hiking jacket on. I was wearing black chef pants. And I had a black bandana on, and I had a hood up because it was raining. And I'm walking up to the building, and the cop, like, stops me. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm here to pay a ticket. And the guy, like, made me put my hands up and patted me down because he thought I had a fucking gun or some shit. And I'm like, first of all, I could fucking walk into the... Isn't stop and frisk illegal? I don't think it's legal. Basically, he just said he has reasonable suspicion that I have a gun or something. Oh, I fucking know, dude. Usually I do argue with police officers a lot more. When I was a dog walker, I argued with them a lot because of some other shit that went down. But I was like, A, not in the mood. And B, this one was person to person. It wasn't like... I don't know, it was a different level of like dealing with a human when they're like directly in front of me. Because like a lot of the times when I was a dog walker, people would... Because you guys know me pretty well, I think, most of you guys. I am just a giant pain in the ass. I have a huge problem with literally any authority figure on Earth in existence, okay? It's just because of how I grew up, I think. And it's something that's deeply ingrained in my soul. So, regardless of how police officers actually are or whatever, like, I'm a pain in the ass. And so, for example, when I used to walk dogs, I would have breaks. Now, when I walked dogs, I was 40 minutes away from home. So I would have an hour break. I can't go anywhere. I would bring my own lunch so I would be able to save money, right? What do I do? I drive to a random spot on a street where it's legal to park, where there's not any signs that say no parking, and I just fucking park there. Roll my car windows down, assuming the weather is nice. Maybe sit down somewhere, or like stay sitting down in my car and like read a book, or go on YouTube, or work on a video, or play a game, or something like that. And so basically I was parked in front of some person's house, and I can't believe I keep missing my seed. Because this is usually how I am. So I was parked in front of someone's house, and I was like, okay. So then a cop pulls up to me, and I'm not idling, by the way, mind you, okay? Because sometimes I would idle for a little bit, and then I would feel really bad about all the carbon dioxide I'm pumping into the atmosphere, and I wouldn't idle. So I would sit there, and I'm not idling, and a cop pulls up to me, and like they pull up behind me, they turn their lights on, which is very, very not annoying. And I'm like, they walk up to my window, and they're like, and they roll my window down, like they tell me to roll my window down. And so I roll it down like the minimum amount, because I'm not trying to fucking, like, I'm just not in the mood. Like, I knew it was something bullshit, because I was sitting there, you know, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, can I help you? And he was like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, none of your fucking business? Like, what do you mean, what am I doing? None of your business. Like, and he was just like, we got a call that there was a car parked here. And I'm like, yup, I'm here. And he's like, okay, you want to tell me why you're here? And I'm like, nope. None of your business. Like, is there a problem? Like, what's the problem? Like, I'm like, is it illegal for me to be parked here? If so, I'll move. And he was like, it's not illegal for you to be parked here. And I'm like, okay, have a nice day. And he was like, actually, I think it was a woman, actually. And basically, the back and forth went for a while. It was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, it's none of your business. Until they were like, do you want me to get more people here? And I was like, yes, fine. Like, get more people here then. Whatever. And they were like, okay, and they called their sergeant. Their sergeant showed up in the same fucking rounds, and it's like, what are you doing here? And it's like, none of your business. The guy was like, the sergeant was like, you're right. You're right, it is none of my business. See you later, and goodbye. And that was that. And it's like, okay, listen. And I understand to some degree it is a job of a person if they get a call. But, like, I don't understand how... This is on, like... This is on, like, dispatch or something, right? Not to be, like, whatever, but... Like, a person calls, right? And they're like, hey, a human has been parked in front of my house for 40 minutes. Can you send an officer to check it out? What legal grounds would an authority body have to do that? And I'm not even just saying, like, from, like, a... Because, like, if someone was parked in front of my house for 40 minutes, I'd be fucking weirded out. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the weirded out. I'm not unsympathetic to even the person who fucking called the cops on me, right? Like... But, like, what power should anyone have to investigate that situation, right? Because I wasn't really, like... Is it suspicious to just sit on the side of the road somewhere? So, I don't know. I don't even know how to actually, like... Like, dispatch just probably shouldn't send them those calls, right? Like, they should be like, okay, well, are they doing anything illegal? It's like, no, they're just sitting there looking creepy. It's like, okay, we can't do anything, bye. Like... But then I understand the need to want to check out what I'm doing, because, like, what if I'm there to, like, there is a hard line between making sure that people are safe and over-policing on people's rights, you know? He's sitting there menacingly. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm white, so I can... I can get away with being like much more confrontational, if that makes sense. Like, I want it to be clear that pretty much no experience I've had, even those where I have not. When I say hard line, I mean it's like I meant difficult to determine where the line would be. That one's annoying. Why do you play Pokemon games in Japanese? You play your games in Korean? Because they are cheaper to buy and I can read them. That's pretty much the reason. Fuck! I'm skirting the fuck around. No, I think I'm still been a little bit early. Okay, so we'll do 32, I think. Should be. Oops. Yeah, so from my end, it's just like, I don't know, dog, like, the thing is, I think someone really should just be allowed to be parked on the side of the road in a suburb for fucking a few hours if they want to. Like, Korean Pokemon games are priced higher than English because typically Korea has like a lot of restrictions. For a long time anyway, they had even into like GBA and PS2 era and GameCube era, they had like restriction on Japanese imports because of understandable bad blood between Japan and Korea after the shit that they fucking pulled during World War II. And in general, the entire history of Korea, for the record. Quiet. Like the early Game Boy and stuff in Korea wasn't even released by Nintendo there. Like, it was released by like it was released by like Samsung or something. They like bought the rights to sell the game, like a Korean company bought the rights from Nintendo to sell the Game Boy there. Like, that's how it works. Japan hates Korea. It's really the other way around. Japan has like a really long history of conquering and taking over Korea and like forcing Japanese culture onto Koreans. A really, really long history of doing this for a really long time. So for a long time, Korea was not allowing imports of there was a period of time after World War II because they did like war crimes in World War II. Japan did fucked up shit in World War II. Like, I don't think Korea literally allowed any Japanese-made products in that country. One curious question, Jake. Are you blind or do you have seeing problems? I said because you have glasses. No, I just need glasses because I'm nearsighted. I cannot see very well without my glasses, for the record. I've needed glasses since I was very young. I cannot see without them at all, pretty much. I could show you guys the perspective if we want to play that fun game. Okay, here we go. I'll take my glasses off. This is where the words in the book come into focus for me. That's this big. This is like 2.5 inches, maybe. Not a lot. $362. Fuck, do I increase it more then, I guess? I go to Korea every summer to visit grandparents. You buy 4th gen Korean games. I think by the time 4th gen was out, stuff was chill. But I know for a fact the original Game Boy games are not like even made by Nintendo, technically, in that country. Oh boy. Man. There's way more Japanese than English copies. There's probably more Japanese than English copies. There's so many English copies because so many people speak English. It's just like the default language for a lot of places. Or people view it as the default language, right? This is Jolly. Have I hit this one before? I think I have. I'm so close, guys. C7, 9, 8. Okay, that was one late. I can do 2 more of these, and then I have to cut it. I'll probably start making dinner. I have to do dinner tonight. I don't have to. I guess I should do dinner tonight, though. Server suggestions, friends for our channel. Interesting. I could consider that. That could just be part of the FC channel. Have you figured out how holding the seed and button affects the seed and frame? I've not figured it out whole hog. This session was a lot more regimented than my previous session. And I'm not sure if the things that I have found were universal. Side question: a soldier kill? Hold on. Let me do this and then I'll do it. I already read the question, really, but I just didn't read it out loud. It depends on the circumstance, is pretty much what I could say. Okay, so in the case that the soldier was a drafted person, no, because, and even then, it's really hard because you have to go through the levels of like why. This is a really hard question. Okay, if you're talking purely hypothetical, I would say maybe there are situations in which I do fault the soldier, or not. Penalty for desertion is death or life in prison. Okay, adding penalty for desertion makes it very easy for me to say no. Because the reason it's like so not. It's not mild? Hello? Oh, what the fuck? This is lonely. Fucking shit. Alright, it's gotta be my last one. So basically something along the lines of, like, the problem with war is that when people enter war, whether it's through conscription, like forced conscription, through like drafting, or through volunteering, like it's often like the result of like an insane amount of propaganda, and it's very difficult to get yourself out of that. I do think that you're responsible for your own actions in the sense of, like, if you are not drafted, because like there's a certain level of like societal pressure, because like I don't think people realize like how heavy you know, the, like, nature versus nurture or whatever. Like, I don't think people realize how formative nurture is in regards to, like, in general, right? So, like, the society shapes who you are, typically. Pretty much most cases, I think that society shapes who a person is, right? Oh, fuck, it's not lonely, it's the other one. Naughty. And so it's like, if this person is like an American who was raised their whole life to believe that a soldier is good, right? And that war is good in like the traditional American way or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? This kind of thing. I think it's very hard to expect them to have come to that conclusion that this is propaganda before they entered the military. Like, it's very difficult for me to expect an 18-year-old to be able to cognitively make that thing and like realize what they're doing. At the same time, like, I also acknowledge that people join the military just to sustain themselves. However, in any case in which you join willingly, in any case that you're joining willingly, even through all the brainwashed propaganda bullshit, you are responsible for, going, regardless of all the propaganda, regardless of if you believe being in the military is good, being in this is this, being in this is this way, going into the military that there is a possibility you're going to have to kill people. So I think that you are morally responsible for what's this one? This is timid. I think that you are morally responsible for the people that you kill, but I don't think it's like the same level of responsibility as someone who involves in intentional homicide or like, what the fuck, 10d6, like a negligence manslaughter, if that makes sense. All right, actual last one, and then I'm done. I would need someone who is very, very well versed in philosophy, though, to talk to me about why my position may or may not be valid in that instance. Because, and I believe in any instance, if you're drafted into the military and penalty is life in prison or death or something like that, you have, it's not on, it can't be on you. See, that's what I was kind of talking about, Hefe. Like, that's what I was kind of talking about. Like, he's... I think if you willingly join... you can be held responsible in some level in any capacity. But I just think it's going to be... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that's what happens to a lot of people, you know? And I think that's part of the reason that, like, PTSD happens, right? Like, you see fucked up shit and you have to do fucked up shit. I don't know if you can hold them morally responsible, especially with the way that the brainwashing goes on, because that's literally what happens with America. I'm not even sure if you could hold someone responsible for, like, just having nowhere else to go in life and just joining the military just because they get paid. And, like, I don't know. I don't know how much of the lead-in up to joining the military even applies, if that makes sense. Right? Like, does what their life was like before they ended up joining the military matter in regards to, like a person who fully understands, let's say a mythical person fully understands the consequences of their actions and was not brainwashed, right? They just joined because they want to get college without having to pay for it, in terms of, like, literally use their money to pay for it. Like, obviously they're paying for it by conscripting with the American government, right? But they know that killing people is wrong, and they know that they'll probably have to kill people. Is that person more culpable than a person who was brainwashed into it through propaganda? Like, I think so, right? But that's such a weird thing to, like, differentiate. What if he goes home after war and kills someone as a result of their PTSD in training? Once you have a mental illness, you're pretty much morally absolved of it, but that doesn't mean you're absolved of the consequences of it, if that makes sense. Because consequences is the only thing that can keep some people from it happening, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain that one properly to me. Yo, man, thank you very much for the videos on 4th Gen. Thanks, you have got a trainer ID of 00000, which will result in a perfect IV bold Cresselia on your way to catch it. Hey, thanks, Lation. I appreciate it. Okay, Hefe, I like this conversation. I'll talk to you more about it later if you're down, but I have to go. I have to start on dinner and do some other shit. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Despite how heated I got during the small business conversation, I did have a good time because it was a good faith conversation, and that's what I love most about conversations, is when they're good faith. All right, bye.